Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all. Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2026, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 78 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 and Viksit Bharat 2047. As part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations and celebrations. Today, we are commemorating World Wildlife Day on March 3rd every year. 50,000 wild species meet needs of billions worldwide. Around 9% of plant species used globally for medicinal and aromatic purposes are over harvesting, habitual loss, climate change, and illegal trade. 1 in 5 people relying on wild plants, algae, and fungi are for their food and income. 70 to 95% of the population is developing countries rely on traditional medicine for primary health care. The incalculable value of wildlife, people everywhere rely on wildlife and biodiversity based resources to meet our needs, from food to fuel, medicines, housing, and for clothing, for us to enjoy the benefits and the beauty that nature brings us and our planet. People have been working together to make sure ecosystems are able to thrive and plant and animal species are able to exist for future generations. World Wildlife Day is an opportunity to celebrate the many beautiful and varied forms of wild fauna and flora, to raise awareness of their many benefits, to remind us of the urgent need to step up in fight against wildlife crime and human-induced reduction of species, which have wide-ranging economic, environmental, and social impacts. This 2026, the theme of the International Day, Medicinal and Aromatic Plants Conserving Health, Heritage, and Livelihoods, highlights the vital role of these plants in sustaining human health, cultural heritage, and local livelihoods, and showcases the growing pressure they face from habitat loss, overharvesting, and climate change. On 20th December 2013, the 68th session of the United Nations General Assembly decided to proclaim 3rd March as World Wildlife Day to celebrate, raise awareness of the world's wild fauna and flora. The date is the day of the adoption of the Convention of International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, CITES in 1973, which plays an important role in ensuring the international trade does not threaten the species' survival. Previously, 3rd March had been designated as World Wildlife Day in a resolution made at the 16th meeting of the Conference of the Paris of the Parties to Conference of the Parties to CITES COP16 held in Bangkok from 3rd to 14th March 2013. The CITES resolution was sponsored by the Kingdom of Thailand, the host of CITES COP16, which transmitted the outcomes of CITES COP16 to the UN General Assembly. The Secretariat of the Convention on the International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, in short CITES, in collaboration with other relevant United Nations organizations, facilitates the implementation of World Wildlife Day. With 183 member states, CITES remains one of the world's most powerful tools for biodiversity conservation through the regulation of trade in wild fauna and flora. People everywhere rely on wildlife and biodiversity-based resources to meet our needs, from food to fuel, medicines, housing, clothing. For us to enjoy the benefits and the beauty that nature brings us and our plant people have been working together to make sure ecosystems are able to thrive and plant and animal species are able to exist for future generations. So let's celebrate wildlife and the important conservation work being done around the world. So in 2026, World Wildlife Day, WWD 2026, will shine a spotlight on the critical and role of medicinal and aromatic plants. Medicinal and aromatic plants, in short known as MAPs, are essential for both human health and ecological balance. Around the world, people collect and use MAPs such as American ginseng, spikenard, and agarwood for treating and preventing illnesses. The World Health Organization, WHO, recognizes their significance, particularly in developing countries where 70 to 95% of the population relies on traditional medicine for primary health care. These plants form the foundation of many healthcare systems and remain vital to modern pharmaceuticals as numerous active drug compounds are derived directly or indirectly from natural sources, despite advances in synthetic chemistry. Beyond their medicinal uses, MAPs also contribute to various industries, including cosmetics, food, and luxury goods. The genetic resources derived from MAPs and traditional knowledge about MAPs have been used for diverse applications in agriculture, medicine, and conservation, ensuring the sharing of the benefits arising from this use of essential and can provide incentives for conservation and sustainable use of wildlife. With reference to Target 13 of the Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework. Additionally, MAPs play a crucial role in supporting ecosystems by stabilizing soils, promoting biodiversity, and providing essential resources for pollinators such as bees and hummingbirds. However, many of these valuable species face growing threats from habitat destruction, over-harvesting, and illegal trade, making their consumption a global priority. Approximately 50,000 to 70,000 medicinal and aromatic plant species are harvested globally, of which around 1,500 are estimated to be listed in sites appendices, and over 800 listed in sites appendix 2. MAP cultivation and harvest practices secure vital resources for many households around the world, with 1 in 5 people relying on wild plants, algae, and fungi for their food and income. MAPs can play a vital role in livelihood diversification for marginalized pollution living in remote areas and serve as an important factor in source countries' local economies. It is also critical to ensure equitable access to benefit sharing for these local communities in the countries of origin. For example, the global revenue from traditional Chinese medicines was US $83 billion in 2012. Annual expenditures in the traditional medicine sector in the Republic of Korea were US $7.4 billion in 2009, and private spending for natural products in the United States of America was US $14.8 billion in 2008. The European market for herbal supplements and herbal medicines is estimated to be worth US $7.4 billion per year. The conservation and sustainable trade of MAPs directly supports the achievement of several targets of the coming Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework, namely Target 5, which calls for ensuring for sustainable use, harvesting, and trade of wild species. Target 10, which emphasizes the needs to manage and restore ecosystem that support biodiversity, and Target 9, which highlights the critical role of indigenous people and local communities in conservation, recognizing their knowledge and sustainable practice. Over 20% of the plant species used globally for medicinal and aromatic purposes are considered to be threatened with extinction on the IUCN Red List, mainly due to overharvesting, habitat loss, climate change, and unregulated or illegal international trade. Raising awareness, strengthening regulation, and ensuring the sustainability of harvesting and trade are essential for these invaluable plant resources to survive in the wild. World Wildlife Day 2026 will serve as a platform to highlight the vital role of medicinal and aromatic plants in sustaining human health, cultural heritage, and local livelihoods. It will showcase the diversity of these species from aloes and frankincense to orchids, their contributions to traditional knowledge and primary health care, and the growing pressures they face from the habitat loss, overharvesting, and climate change. The observance will also explore the challenges encountered by indigenous people, rural communities, governments, and conservation partners, and the collaborative actions needed to ensure that these plants are conserved and used sustainably for future generations to continue benefiting from them. This year, the site's secretariat has partnered with the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, Jackson Wild, host of the World Wildlife Day Film Showcase, and the International Fund for Animal Welfare, IFAW, host of the Wildlife Day International Youth Art Contest, to organize the highest level United Nations celebration event to take place on Tuesday, 3rd March 2026, and to be live streamed on the World Wildlife Day channel. So, World Wildlife Day is for connecting people with the natural world and inspiring continued learning and action for animals and plants beyond the day. Today is also commemorated as International Ear Care Day on March 3rd. Internationally, every year, this day creates awareness about how to prevent hearing loss and how to take care of and maintain the proper health of our ears. It is an initiative of the World Health Organization. The step was also taken to provide necessary help to help people with hearing impairment and help them lead better lives. People observe this day by raising awareness on ear care and helping those in need. In 1948, the World Health Organization was founded to oversee healthcare and medical services in countries around the world. The objective was also to prevent the spread of diseases like malaria and tuberculosis in developing countries. The headquarters of the World Health Organization is in Geneva and has about 141 offices and 6 regional offices. In 2015, the World Health Organization initiated the Make Listening Safe campaign. The campaign aimed to educate people, especially teenagers, on the dangers of listening to music at high volumes and other habits that damage the ears. The World Health Organization offered helpful tips such as not listening to music above 85 dB and wearing earplugs when attending a concert. They also encourage people to get their ears checked by a medical professional once every few months. The World Health Organization is believed to have chosen the date March 3rd for International Ear Care Day, as the day 3 by 3 resembles the shape of the ears. On this day, a theme is selected, and the media, non-governmental organizations, and other groups come together to raise awareness on the precautions that need to be taken for maintaining good ear health. This day is also dedicated to people with hearing impairment and their quest to improve the quality of their lives. The theme of the International Ear Care Day recent was to hear for life, listen with care. The World Health Organization wants people to know that it is possible to have good hearing through one's lifespan. If good practices are followed, the World Health Organization encourages government societies, non-profit organizations, and corporations to do their part in raising awareness on ear health and safety, and practicing safe listening. The United Nations is formed in San Francisco, California in 1945, and the World Health Organization is founded as part of the UN to oversee the health department in 1948. The World Health Organization initiates the Make the Listening Safe campaign for raising awareness on the hazards of exposing the ears to loud music in 2015. International Ear Care Day is created to raise awareness on health and safety in 2018. There are few steps that can ensure maximum ear safety. Reduce the volume. Use earplugs when your ears are exposed to loud music. Do not use cotton swabs to clean your ears and manage stress. You can use eye drops or a few drops of baby oil in your ears to soften ear wax. You can also use a few drops of hydrogen peroxide to do the same. Foods that contain gluten, dairy products, caffeine, and greasy and fatty substances lead to an increase in ear wax. What better way to observe International Ear Care Day than to raise awareness about ear care? Partner with your local medical clinic or health organization to raise awareness on ear care in your neighborhood. Let everyone know the importance of this day. Share information about the day on your social media. If you have started your own campaign to raise awareness on ear health and well-being of the hearing impaired in your community, take pictures and post on social media. This might encourage others also to get involved. Use this day to do something good. Make donations to the World Health Organization and support their endeavors and medical research, which aims to prevent diseases and provide health care to all. The World Health Organization's initial objectives was epidemic control only. The International Office of Public Health in Paris was established in 1907. The Director General is appointed by the World Health Assembly. The World Health Organization was given additional resources in 1951 for expansion. The World Health Organization keeps countries updated on the latest developments in medical research. This day provides us with an opportunity to raise awareness and educate people on the importance of maintaining proper ear health and keeping our ears safe from any potential hazards. This day gives us an opportunity to donate, help, and make a difference in the lives of people who are hearing impaired. Research and medical advancements can make a huge difference in the lives of patients. This is also a day of learning. The day gives people a chance to learn and read about more differential ways our ears are exposed to hazards that can cause temporary or even permanent hearing loss. Knowing about them can help us identify them. So, the theme for World Hearing Day 2026 is from communities to classrooms, hearing care for every child. Act now so that no child is left behind due to ear or hearing problems. World Hearing Day is an annual global advocacy event for raising awareness regarding hearing and loss and promoting ear and hearing care and calling for action to address hearing loss and related issues. Each year, this event is celebrated on 3rd March, covering a specific theme on which the World Health Organization and its partners carry out activities based on this theme. This site is in support of World Hearing Day. In addition, find information on the theme of this year, World Hearing Day, which highlights the theme from communities to classrooms, hearing care for all children. The campaign focuses on two imperatives: preventing avoidable childhood hearing loss, ensuring early identification of and care for children with ear or hearing problems. Schools and communities are natural entry points to reach children, parents, and teachers. By integrating hearing care into school health and child health programs, we can help children hear, learn, and succeed. Around 90 million children aged 5 to 19 years live with hearing loss. Over 60% of childhood hearing loss is preventable through simple, cost effective public health measures. Among those living with ear diseases or hearing loss, early identification and care are crucial to prevent long term impacts on development, education, and future opportunities. Integrating systematic screening and early intervention programs into school health and child health plans can ensure improved outcomes for children living with ear or hearing problems. World Hearing Day on March 3rd every year is observed to raise the public awareness about how to avoid deafness and hearing impairment, as well as to support ear and hearing care around the world. The World Health Organization chooses this theme every year. World Health Organization seeks to demonstrate the need for early detection and treatment for hearing loss on World Hearing Day. Many people have undiagnosed hearing problems and are unaware that they are missing out on important sounds and phrases. The first step in dealing with the problem is to assess one's hearing. World Hearing Day is an annual campaign organized by the World Health Organization's Office for the Prevention of Blindness and Deafness. There are events taking place through the world, including one on March 3rd at the World Health Organization. The campaign's goals are to disseminate information and to encourage people to take steps to avoid hearing loss and enhance hearing care. This day was celebrated for the first time in 2007. Before 2016, it was called International Ear Care Day. World Health Organization chooses a subject or theme each year and prepares instructional materials and make them publicly available with a variety of languages. It also plans reports on events all across the world. So deaf persons who can communicate using hand signals are proud of their heritage. In 1816, deaf educator Laurent Clerc and American educator Thomas H. Gowland helped establish the country's first permanent institution for deaf students. The late 1850s saw a debate held in the West regarding whether to establish a separate deaf state. The concept was inspired by an event in which American Congress handed the American asylum a small section of Alabama. The deaf state was to be placed where deaf persons could move to and flourish if they so decide. But the plan failed and the argument died with it. The very first World Report on Hearing was released in 2021 to commemorate World Hearing Day, and World Health Organization hopes to reach out to national government, global NGOs and development organizations, along with players in the hearing care sector, to raise awareness and organize action through the global release of the report. The World Report on Hearing and World Hearing Day represents a global call to action to elevate hearing loss and ear illness. May is Better Hearing and Speech Month. The ASHA, American Speech Language Hearing Association, came up with the idea in 1927 to support people at risk of suffering hearing loss caused by loud sounds. It's crucial to remember that there's nothing wrong with persons who are extremely talented to analytical abilities, even if they are late talkers and have limited language skills. SLPs work with children and adults to prevent, examine, identify, and address speaking language, social skills, cognitive communication, and swallowing issues. Raise awareness on ear care and issues that affect hearing loss on this day. Share relevant materials with friends on social media. Many people have undiagnosed hearing problems. Early detection is key to fighting it. Why not take an ear test? Remember to invite friends or to take tests too. The most common cause of hearing loss is chronic ear infections, which are left untreated. Noise is among the main preventable causes of hearing loss. A little peace and quiet. Public health efforts can help prevent over 60% of hearing loss cases concerning children. According to 2021 World Report on Hearing, almost one-fifth of the world's population suffer from hearing loss. The majority of people with hearing impairment do not have access to treatments, according to the same report, 2021. So, World Hearing Day aims to create awareness about hearing loss and inspire global action concerning preventive measures. It is important in checking existing and reducing the emergence of new ones. Community involvement plays a major role in keeping hearing loss cases under control. This observance is an opportunity for the deaf community to work alongside their representative organizations, health systems, and governments to solve hearing related issues. World Hearing Day is observed around the world and its impact is far reaching. So, this day sheds light on the dynamic nature of hearing impairment and how the global community can play its part. Today is also commemorated as What If Cats and Dogs Had Opposable Thumbs Day on March 3rd, 2026. So, what if cats and dogs had opposable thumbs? Day is annually observed on March 3rd. On this day, we ask ourselves a very critical question. What if most commonly domesticated animals in our lives could mimic some of the genetics of their owners? Imagine a world in which dog could open a door knobs or your cat could open a tin of by herself since you are always running late. Hilarious or scary? We are still deciding. In the meantime, let's continue to indulge in our imagination. After 45 years of living with cats and dogs, American actor Tom Roy had an epiphany whilst opening a tin can. Since all of its pets were dependent on him for all of their meals, he thought to himself, how could things turn out if pets didn't need humans to turn that tin opener? Humans are superior species for a bunch of reasons, with one of their most important powers coming from ability to form a grip with our hands. While we don't have the claws of a tiger or a trunk of an elephant, we do have thumbs that make lifting things possible. Without our thumbs, we won't be able to pick up a pen, turn a handle, or hold a can of soda. The opposable thumbs enable the act of skilled manipulation that allows us to grip things, a gift of evolution. This innate genetic complexity places us to legends ahead of primates. Thumbs can move independently and freely, which is luxury afforded only to the human being and monkeys. On March 3rd, we let our minds wander towards a world where our beloved pets are also blessed with the thumbs. Today is also commemorated as Unique Names Day in US. On first Tuesday of first full week of March, this year it falls on March 3rd. This is a day dedicated to those with unique or rare names, and it is also for those people with names that are hard to pronounce and where people usually ask them to pronounce their names. Onomatology hobbies, Jerry Hill is behind the origin of this day in 1997. Today is also commemorated as Tourism Day on March 3rd in Taiwan, which is observed every year on the 15th day of first lunar month and takes place on March 3rd this year. It is a day to generate awareness about and promote tourism on the island of Taiwan. It highlights its culture diversity to science in an effort to draw more tourist traffic and educate the world about what it has to offer. Today is also commemorated as Talk in Third Person on March 3rd, 2026. On this day, people talk to each other in third person. Words like I, you, and we are not allowed. People are supposed to refer to each other as he, she, they. Did you know that this day was celebrated for the first time 16 years ago? And it is celebrated across the globe by people by talking in the third person and enjoying all the laughter and fun that follows. It allows people to do something different from their daily routine and do something funny, creative, and entertaining. Today is also commemorated as Soup It Forward Day on March 3rd in US, held annually. It is an initiative by Soup Sisters. The aim of this day is to bring people together to do something for others. In this case, it is making and sharing soup. Soap Sisters is a non-profit charitable entity that aims to help women, children, and young adults by providing them with soup. Giving soup represents kindness. Soup is a warm meal that is not only nutritious but also a symbol of help and gratitude. Many literary classics depict the giving of hot soups to those in need on a frigid day as a gesture of kindness in the US. Perhaps this is the reason why founder Sharon Hupton decided to name her organization Soup Sisters. Today is also commemorated as Simplify Your Life Day, which is observed annually on March 3rd. This day gives us room to declutter and save time and money while we are at it. It was created by professional organizer, ex-army officer Carmen Cooker. To provide easy tips and tricks that allow us to give room for a simpler life. On the third day of third month, you can choose 3 days to make your life simple and calm the chaos. Today is also commemorated as Purim on March 3rd. Every year, starting on Hebrew date of Adar 14, March 3rd, Jewish people all over the world celebrate the victorious festival of Purim. The religious celebration commemorates the salvation of the Jewish people in ancient Persia from the cruel Haman's plot to rid them from the world. So raise a glass, rejoice, and face Chang Purim's summit. Today is also commemorated as Peach Blossom Day in China. Every year on March 3rd, a special festival dubbed the Peach Blossom Festival is celebrated in Yunnan, China. This must not be confused with another festival of the same name, Japan's Hinamatsuri or Doll Festival. Peach Blossom Day falls in March as peach trees in both Japan and China blossom during this time. Both festivals also run along similar lines. They both celebrate peach blossoms, less known in Himatsuri. Their They feature in Hina dolls prominently, and both festivals are days that celebrate what they believe the peach blossom represents women. Since we love any day that celebrate the women of the world, we absolutely adore Peach Blossom. The peach blossoms come from the peach tree, which is native to China. Persians had a big role to play in the spread of this plant to other regions. Today is also commemorated as National Town Meeting Day on March 3rd in US. A community-driven event that takes place every year on the first Tuesday of March is one of our favorite government and state-related national days to observe this year. It falls on March 3rd. We appreciate how town meetings can bring communities together, inspire groups of people to overcome challenges and biases, and come to conclusions and resolutions that concern the whole community. Today is also commemorated as National Sportsmanship Day in US, which is celebrated on first Tuesday of March every year. This day has been celebrated since 1995. The International Sports Institute first established National Sportsmanship Day in order to promote good sportsmanship around the country and to set high standards for the future generations of athletes. The objective of this day is to tell people about the importance of sportsmanship. It encourages fair play, good etiquette, and good character. The day is also to remind athletes and sports fans alike that being good at a sport isn't the only important quality of an athlete. Showing good sportsmanship is equally important. Today is also commemorated as National Moscow Mule Day on March 3rd in US every year. It is a perfect day to pause your busy life and enjoy a refreshing cup of cocktail. The date 3-3, that is March 3rd, symbolizes the cocktail's three primary ingredients, represents the trifecta responsible for its creation. The quick and iconic drink just needs the ingredients, and it's to be served in copper cups. Today is also commemorated as National If Pets Had Thumbs Day on March 3rd. While pets bring unconditional love, joy to our lives, not having opposable thumbs can represent some limitations. On March 3rd, National If Pets Had Thumbs Day, we are given the opportunity to imagine what life would be like if our fuzzy little friends had extra digit. Would they use it for good or evil? Grab your pet and read on together and explore. Today is also commemorated as National I Want You to Be Happy Day in US on March 3rd, giving each of us the opportunity to brighten someone's day through simple acts of kindness and selflessness. Don't you love being around people who spread cheer everywhere they go? You could be that person. It's so easy to do, and well, we want you to be happy too. Today is also commemorated as National Cold Cuts Day in US. The nation unites in a common love for these items that have been stored and processed in various methods. Today is also commemorated as National Anthem Day on March 3rd. Observes the songs nations around the world have adopted and chosen to represent their national identity. For America, that song is the Star Spangled Banner and has a rich history to match the pomp and circumstance any national anthem should garner for the country it represents. So learn about the fateful night which inspired our national anthem and find ways to celebrate it today. Today is also commemorated as Mother's Day in Georgia. On March 3rd, the first country to start the celebrations of Mother's Day on March 3rd was actually Norway, and Georgia was the second. Though Norway marks Mother's Day on a different date each year, it was originally declared by the first president of Georgia, Zervid Damskudia, to replace the International Women's Day and was officially approved by the Supreme Council in 1991. Nowadays, Georgia celebrates both Mother's Day on March 3rd and International Women's Day on March 8th. On this day, we celebrate mothers, future moms who are pregnant, maternal bonds, and mother's influence on the family and society. Today is also commemorated as Missouri Compromise Day on March 3rd in US. Was established on this day in 1820 when the Missouri Compromise was approved by the Congress. The Missouri Compromise was a law that kept a balance in the Senate between the free states and slave states. The new piece of legislation was passed by the 16th United States Congress on March 3rd, 1820, and signed by President James Monroe. On March 6th on the same year, free states were the ones in which slavery had been abolished, and slave states were those where slavery continued to be practiced. The Missouri Compromise, however, only lasted for 34 years, and the end of this compromise came to be as a result of US Civil War. Today is also commemorated as Martyrs' Day in Malawi on March 3rd, which is a public holiday observed in Malawi every year. This day helps to honor the political heroes who gave their lives in the struggle against British colonialism. The British Central Africa Protectorate was established by Britain and included the whole of present-day Malawi. Malawians decided to create their political parties. The Nyasaland African Congress, NAC, emerged as the strongest voice of Malawians. The holiday celebrated to honor the country's heroes and inspire the next generations to go after the change and improvements in society. Today is also commemorated as Maka Puja Day in Thailand on March 3rd, the full moon day of the third lunar month, to celebrate the day in the best possible way. It has been more than 2,500 years since Siddhartha attained enlightenment and became known as Buddha, the Enlightened One. The Magha Puja, also known as Magha Puja, is observed to commemorate the meeting of Buddha and his first 1,200 disciples. Magha or Magha is the month, and Puja or Puja means prayer. It is also called Sangha Day and Fourfold Assembly Day, and it is celebrated in parts of Thailand, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and Cambodia, and rest of the world diaspora who are embracing Buddhism. The exact origins of the birth are known to be in India. There have been conflicting theories, some suggesting that he was born around 600 BC, while other parts in Japan and Korea suggest he was born in 800 BC. Buddha was born as Siddhartha in Lumbini, present-day Nepal, in an aristocratic family. When Siddhartha was conceived, his mother went to her father's place in Kapilavastu. As a youth, Siddhartha had the privileges of life. His father, Suddhodana, was the hereditary monarch of the Surya Vamsha solar dynasty. Later, when Siddhartha stepped out of the kingdom, he faced the realities of life. He saw poverty, suffering, and death, which deeply moved him and gave him existential crisis. Siddhartha decided to leave his kingdom and the pleasure of lives and lead the life of fasting. And thus Siddhartha started meditating. It is during this time that he realized the importance of the middle path, that is creating a balance between self-indulgence and severe asceticism. In Bodh Gaya, sitting under the Mahabodhi tree, Siddhartha attained enlightenment and became known as Buddha, the Enlightened One. 10 months later, after the enlightenment, followed the events that led to Magha Puja. The first 1,200 disciples of Buddha who have attained enlightenment themselves gathered to see the Buddha without being summoned. It was also the full moon night of the third lunar month. This day came to be celebrated as Magha Puja. It is said that it was also the day Buddha appointed Sariputta and Moggallana as his two main disciples. There are many activities and customs associated with Magha Puja. On the morning of Magha Puja, monks are offered food by devotees. Later in afternoon, they visit temple for the sermon, and the 5 precepts and the 8 precepts are also observed. Vesak is the most important festival for the Buddhist. It is the birthday of Buddha. It is celebrated in May on the first full moon day. The 3 main beliefs of Buddhism are the 3 universal truths. Everything is impermanent and changing. Impermanence leads to suffering, and all life involves suffering. The 4 noble truths: the truth of suffering, the truth of cause of suffering, the truth of end of suffering, and the truth of the path that leads to the end of suffering. The noble eightfold path: right view, right resolve, right speech, right conduct, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right samadhi. We often get busy with our hectic schedule and busy routine and forget to give time to ourselves. This day provides us with a great opportunity to set aside the stress and work on ourselves. It allows us to meditate, reflect on our decisions, and self-introspect. It is rightly said that one must never stop learning. Magha provides us with an opportunity to learn more about various scriptures, including Buddhist stories, beliefs, and teaching. It gives us a chance to expand our knowledge. Buddha was someone who refrained from his worldly attachments and vices and set out to live a life of honesty. His teachings of finding the middle way instead of going extreme is something we should all follow in life. This day provides us an opportunity to look back at the teachings of Buddha and ingrain in our lives. Today is also commemorated as Lantern Festival in Taiwan on March 3rd, which is an important element of Chinese and Taiwanese culture. Lanterns carry huge cultural significance in Chinese culture, and since Taiwanese people belong to the same culture and tradition, lanterns carry deep cultural meaning for them as well. The practice of lighting lanterns originates in Buddhist traditions more than 20 centuries ago. The Taiwanese people adhere to these practices to this very day and honor the traditions of their ancestors. The Lantern Festival is an annual celebration to mark the end of New Year, celebrating across Taiwan. It is celebrated on the 15th day of the first month in the lunar calendar. This auspicious carnival is a major tourism hotspot and is originated by the Tourism Ministry of Taiwan. The week's long observation brings people of Taoism and Buddhism faith together as they lighten the lanterns in hopes of better future. Rice dumplings are distributed in the streets and people of Taiwan pay tribute to the centuries-old traditions. Today is also commemorated as Lantern Festival in China, which is a traditional Chinese festival that changes every year with the lunar calendar. It usually falls in February, and this year it takes place on March 3rd. It signifies the last day of the traditional Chinese New Year celebrations. Even as early as the Western Han Dynasty, it was celebrated as a festivity with great importance. During the Lantern Festival in ancient times, the lanterns were moderately simple. It was just the emperor and the great noblemen who had large, elegant lanterns. In modern times, lanterns have become enhanced with several complex designs. Some lanterns are now frequently made in the shape of animals. Today is also commemorated as Japan Dolls Festival in Japan. Hinamatsuri, also called as the Doll Festival or Momonoseku Peach Festival and observed on March 3rd every year, is a traditional and unique celebration originating from Japan. While customs differ depending on the region of Japan you are in, one thing is common. The main reason that festival is held to celebrate female children. Flower blossoms from the peach tree are seen as harbingers of the springs. They ward off evil spirit too. And these are some reasons they are essential to this festival. People also get together to pray for female kids, continued health and happiness, and set up cute dolls, adorn houses, and of course, prepare festival. Modern celebrations have evolved to include honoring women of all ages. On Hinamatsuri, Japanese families pray for the health, happiness, and prosperity of their young daughters. It is one of the Japan's 5 seasonal festivities of Seiku. Day 1 of the first month, day 3 of the third month, day 5 of the fifth month, and so on. All Seiku celebrations. Hinamatsuri, the third Seiku festival, is held on every year on March 3rd. Today is also commemorated as Iditarod Trail Sled Jog Race on March 3rd in US. Every year, simply referred to as Iditarod. It's a popular annual long-distance sled dog race that travels from Anchorage to Nome, all within the American state of Alaska. The race has mushers and a team between 12 and 14 dogs that must cover the distance in 8 to 15 days or more. The Iditarod was established in 1973, starting as an event to test the best sled dog mushers. and teams and becoming a highly competitive race over time. Today is also commemorated as Floating Lantern Festival. Internationally, on 15th day of the first month of Chinese calendar, floating lanterns are traditional Chinese lights made of paper or oiled silk designed to be released onto the waterways or into the air. Lanterns that are meant for water are called floating lanterns or water lanterns, while those that fly up in the sky are called sky lanterns. These lamps are also decorated with paper shapes, usually animals or Chinese characters. A lantern is made up of thin square frame with a few bamboo skewers holding the sides together. People also believe that letting lanterns float onto lakes, seas, rivers, and waters wells will bring fertility to the land because water spirits welcome them with happiness. Today is also commemorated as Caregiver Appreciation Day on March 3rd in US. Every year, the day aims to honor, appreciate, and thank the selfless caregivers who give their time and effort to care for those in need. Caregivers cater to people with different conditions, such as those living with disabilities, illness, and the elderly. And do you know that around 40 million caregivers provide care to 16.6% of Americans in the US? Yes, caregivers play an essential role in providing care, and today is a reminder to recognize and celebrate all the professionals who are doing an amazing job. Today is also commemorated as Canadian Bacon Day. Today is also commemorated as Bulgaria Liberation Day in Bulgaria, which is commemorated on March 3rd every year. The Treaty of Stan Stefano recognized Bulgaria as an independent state in 1878. This festival commemorates the Bulgarian volunteers who, with the help of Russian and Romanian soldiers, freed Bulgaria from nearly 500 years of Ottoman control during the Russo-Turkish War 1877 to 1870. Today is also commemorated as 33 Flavors Day on March 3rd in US. Every year, though the reason for this particular date is not unknown, many believe that it is when the famous Baskin-Robbins ice cream company was founded. Whether that is true or not, people love to celebrate this day as they try out new flavors that they have not tried before. They can celebrate this day by treating themselves to a well-deserved treat or by taking their friends, family along to their nearest ice cream shop. The timing of the holiday, which falls right in the middle of the spring, makes it perfect for eating ice cream. Today is also commemorated as Holika Dahana or Holika Dahan, also called as the Festival of Colors. It is celebrated yearly in March, and this year it falls on March 3rd. The date of the festival varies each year because it is determined by the Indian lunar calendar. However, it is celebrated during the first full moon in March, which is usually between March 7th to March 28th, and sometimes it can be an early. The holiday celebrates the triumph of good over evil and commemorates the story of Prahlad and Holika, two characters from Indian folklore. With bonfires and dancing, this day is celebrated on an auspicious date in the evening. The celebration continues to the next day with splash play, which involves throwing color powder at each other. This is called Holi. On this day, relationships are mended and created as the start of the spring season commences. Holika Dahan marks the first day of the Holi celebration. On this day, pyres are set up around India to prepare for a ritual that involves a large group of people who sing and dance harmoniously around a burning effigy. The fire symbolizes the eradication of an evil spirit and begins in the evening as soon as the full moon is out. The procession is a reenactment of the story of Holika and her nephew Prahlad. Prahlad's father, Hiranyakashipu, was a great king who received powers from a deity. He could not hurt or kill by anything. Thus, he assumed the position of a god and demanded everyone worship him. Although the townspeople followed suit, the king's very own son did not worship his father because he was a staunch devotee of the Supreme Being, Lord Sri Mahavishnu. The blatant disregard caused Hiranyakashipu great anger, so he sought to kill his son Prahlada. After many failed attempts, the king decided to ask his sister Holika, immune to fire, for help. Holika was given the task to lure Prahlad into a burning pyre, leading to Prahlad's death. To their dismay, the plan did not go as anticipated because Lord Vishnu intercepted and Vishnu rescued Prahlad and Holika burnt into the fire despite her immunity. This earned Vishnu the title, the protector of the good, as he protected his devotee from his evil aunt. Holika Dahan is followed by fun festivities in the next day with water splashing, painting with color powder, and snacks. During this day holiday, devotees find solace in Lord Vishnu and his avatars, while others participants pay tribute to the Prahlad's sheer bravery and trust. The day is also used to reconcile and reflect on life and relationships. This day's symbolism has traveled across borders, as now it is celebrated by Hindus and diaspora in India and by everyone worldwide. Countries like South Africa, Europe, Australia, and the US participates in these festivities. This holy teaches us that good will always conquer evil. The color and water play come from playful ways of Krishna. Lord Krishna or Lord Sri Krishna was afraid that Radha would not like him because of his color. So his mother advised him to paint Radha's face with the color of his choice. It turns out Radha liked him blue or green. Diwali is festival of lights, while Holi is a festival of color. Try eating popular Holi snacks like gujia, fried dumplings, malpua, pancakes, kachori, and barfi. If these sound strange to you, try them. They are tasty. Don't forget to share with friends and family. Holi is not about color, but also about sharing, caring, and love. Holi is a playful day. Celebrate by splashing color or water or loved ones. Use organic and natural colors. Hold dancing contests and try Indian dance moves. You can also reenact the story of Holika and Prahlad. The arrival of spring, the love of Radha and Krishna, the death of Holika are all celebrated on Holi. Krishna, who is in blue in complexion, is often assumed to be the god of Holi due to his color. In actuality, his color comes from a poison he ingested. The 16-day festival in the Brag region in India, Holi, is celebrated. Water is considered essential for Holi celebrations, so no water, no Holi. The local Indian drink popularly served during Holi contains cannabis and may have after effects if consumed too much. So beware of bhang, which is not essential, though it's consumed in the northern states of India. Holika Dahana celebrates the victory of good over evil, and we love this. You can feel the excitement whenever you watch Holi celebrations. It is a great time to let loose and have fun. When the color splash begins, it's exciting to see the different colors all over the place. The dance celebration with outfits stained with colors are a sight for the eyes. Today is also commemorated as Dola Yatra or Dol Yatra, which is celebrated in March on varying dates each year depending on the position of the moon. And this year, it falls on March 3rd. This day is similar to Holi and commemorates the last festival of the Bengali calendar. The day was created to observe the eternal bond and love between Lord Krishna and Radha. It immortalizes the day Lord Krishna expressed his love for his beloved Radha. The colorful powder called Pag is applied in the following order. First, in respect to the pictures of the deceased family members. Then it is put on the feet of elders as mark of respect. Thereafter, the significant smearing fest of the powder on faces is begun. So Dol Yatra is also known as Dol Jatra, which is a holiday celebrated when the last full moon in the Hindu calendar is present. Although that holiday is similar to the Holi, it is slightly different in the position and purpose. Holi is celebrated to welcome spring and also to mark the death of Holika, the evil sister of Hiranyakashipu, who attempted to kill his son Prahlada. Dol Yatra, on the other hand, celebrates the love of Krishna and Radha. Although Dol Yatra also uses colored powder in their celebratory positions, the powder is used in certain order in different ways to signify the purpose of this day. In addition to colored powder splashes, the idols of Lord Krishna and Radha are decorated and adorned. These statues are gracefully placed on decorated chariots and swung from one end to other. Men are tasked with spraying colored powder at the idols, while women are encouraged to sing songs and bhajans. The first day of Dol Yatra is known as Gon. This is the day people believe Lord Krishna visited Gunacha. To note this, a bonfire is lit in front of the prayer house and the Lord Krishna's idol is paraded as a custom. The idols of Krishna and Radha are taken around the West Bengal with shouts of Haribol resounding in the air. The second day of procession is called Bod Duel or Doll. On this day, the colored powder is applied to the photos of deceased family members. The colored powder is also put on the feet of elders to seek their blessings. When the blessings of elders are satisfactorily received, the tradition of smearing other people with powdered colors begins. People also visit the houses of their near and dear ones with delicious rasgullas. The third day is equally significant as people celebrate with more color. The parade continues on the fourth day, Suri, with hundreds of people participating in prayer, worship, and more. The last day of Dol Yatra is called Suri. When Lord Krishna comes back from Gunucha's home, a large mass of people, including devotees and non-devotees, celebrate the end of this festival. People continue to throw colors on the idol as well as on each other. Simply take a bath soon after praying with fog and soak a scrub to remove colors properly. Use natural and organic colors and avoid any kind of itchiness and skin problems. You could also encourage the use of organic colors to avoid chemical-based colors that might cause problems. On Dol Yatra, dairy products such as homemade butter, yogurt, cream, and prasad like Panchamrit are prepared and distributed to everyone. Make your own dairy treat and share it with all that is near and dear to you. The first day Dol Yatra is also known as Gon. Centuries ago, on this day, Lord Krishna visited Gunucha, one of his wives. In honor of this, a bonfire is lit in front of the prayer house and Lord Krishna idol is taken around it as a tradition. Make fog, that is colored powder. Make color powder, which is key part of festivities. Using fog starts with paying respects for the dead loved ones as the powder is sprinkled in the pictures of deceased family members, then on the idols, the feet of elders as a sign of respect. Finally, everyone gets to be covered in color powder. So you can use making of these colors from leaves, fruits, and flowers. You can dry them or you can use them as a dry powder or a wet paste or even a liquid as with different fruits, colors made from different leaves, fruits, vegetables, and using organic materials. You can dry them or use them as it is and make organic and natural colors. Dol Yatra is the last day of festival of the Bengali year. The bonfire represents the burning of Agira, who is responsible for various diseases. The custom of throwing colored powder is believed to emerge from mythological story of Radha and Krishna. So Lord Krishna was never married to Radha, but had a attachment with her in terms of devotion. Radha was Lord Krishna's wife in his previous birth, but not in that birth. So what's better than coming together with friends and family and just mingling and having fun on a bright day full of leisure and joy. Dol Yatra creates the cherished opportunity, and we want to